Kia ora, and good day, everybody. My name's Cathy Ross. I'm a Kiwi from Aotearoa, New Zealand, living in Oxford and working at Church Mission Society based in Oxford. I've been asked to respond to what you've heard on the 5 marks of mission. I've loved hearing the 5 different inputs and different perspectives on each mark that's represented here. It was great to hear Bishop Alf Cooper from Chile reflecting on the first mark by reminding us that the gospel spreads through personal relationships and that as our friends come to Christ, so they too bring new people to know Jesus. I loved his story of the party where God threw out all their own ideas and paradigms and the Holy Spirit turned up in an unexpected way. Bishop Jorge Cabral from Portugal reminded us of the importance of baptism as a sacrament and as a way into discipleship. In our baptism, we are shaped to be like Jesus. The identity of the baptized is to be where Jesus is. I love that. We are to be where Jesus is. So where is Jesus? Where is that? Well, that will be different for each of us because it will depend on our own contexts. But Jorge reminds us that Jesus is where people are in suffering and in pain, and that mission arises from the needs of the world. Ellie Payne, a youth worker from the UK, gives a striking example of the 3rd mark with her story of the ministry among young women and girls. I'm the girl I want to be. This deals with so many of the issues that young women face today: body image, eating disorders, self-harm, relationships, self-esteem, and more. It encourages girls to make positive choices and to believe that they are unique and loved for who they are. Gillian Abale from the United States of America reminds us of the importance of fighting against systemic and structural injustice by struggling not just personally and individually, but also at an institutional level. So it's good to see that the Anglican Communion Office is represented at the United Nations and can bring a voice and have a platform there. Gillian tells us about the programs working to bring about gender justice and to raise awareness on climate change, and of some of the other organisations with whom we partner. And then finally, Elizabeth Perry from the Anglican Alliance reminds us of the vital and crucial importance of the 5th mark of creation care. She explains that the integrity of creation is under threat, and we know that this is one of the major threats to our world today. In fact, I think we could say it is now a crisis. She tells us that we need a relational mentality rather than an extractive worldview, which we in the West have been exhibiting for so long. She points to the Indigenous peoples within our networks and nations who see creation as interdependent, and who can teach us how to relate to our planet kindly and with respect, realizing that we are all interconnected and kin. I know this from my own context of Aotearoa, New Zealand, where the Māori word for land, whenua, is also the same word for placenta. So that's a wonderful interconnection there. So these 5 perspectives really do make me think that the 5 marks of mission are a taonga that the Anglican Communion can offer and live with. Taonga is a Māori word that comes from my home country of Aotearoa, New Zealand, and it means a treasured thing, whether tangible or intangible. It's difficult to define a taonga. It's a word associated with wisdom, with something precious and cherished, an heirloom perhaps, land in the family for generations, a beautiful garment, a valued piece of jewellery, a grandparent. So it's a wonderful term to use to think about our 5 marks of mission. However, I do acknowledge that the 5 marks are neither perfect nor complete. They're neither a perfect nor complete definition of mission. They do not say everything that we might want to say about mission in today's world, but they are rich with potential and they do form a good working basis for a holistic approach to mission. For example, they don't pick up on the idea of Missio Dei. Missio Dei simply means the mission of God. And what is significant about this is that mission is something that God does, and that we join in with. It is not primarily a human endeavour or something that we've made up. Mission is understood as participation in the life of the triune God. To quote the revered and well-known South African missiologist David Bosch, he says, "It's not that the church has a mission of salvation to fulfill in the world. It is the mission of the Son and the Spirit through the Father that includes the church. There is church because there is mission, not vice versa. To participate in mission is to participate in the movement of God's love towards people, since God is the fountain of sending love." I love that. God is the fountain of sending love. And I think this picks up what is now a succinct and popular summary or definition of mission as seeing what God is doing in a situation and trying to join in and do it with God. So I hope that you can revel in the diversity represented here in the 5 different presentations about the 5 marks of mission, that you can resonate with a range of issues and stories engaged with under these marks, and that you can be strengthened as you engage in mission, in God's mission in your part of the world. The 5 marks of mission are indeed a taonga. May this taonga spark new thoughts and visions. May it offer us other ways of finding and following Jesus in our daily rhythms of discipleship. Taonga are not perfect. They are treasures of this world, resonating with all the beauty and potential of creation, limited by the finiteness and the brokenness of this world, but perhaps even more precious as they hint of the possibilities and promises experienced and expressed in God's love for our world. Thank you.